Hi, I'm Maya James, and you are watching Black Arts and Cultural Center's Mind to Canvas. So I am from Traverse City, Michigan, actually. I was actually born in Santa Fe, then we moved to Los Angeles, where my dad is from, and then we moved to northern Michigan, and I spent a lot of my life there. It is a really hostile, pretty racist place right now, and it was my entire formative years. So I do like to say that I consider Kalamazoo a home because it's the first place where I really felt like home. I was just telling my dad this, but it depends on how I feel. So sometimes I could feel like an illustration, and then I'm just making illustrative work. And then sometimes I feel like painting, then I'm just like painting. So I feel like painting, illustrating, I use acrylic paints, and that's my primary medium for paintings. I have been dabbling into glitter, and I really like glitter right now. But yeah, a lot of 2D mediums. Okay, other artists, for sure, and especially other Black artists, like you, Mila. But for real, I once heard an artist tell me, like a local artist tell me, oh, I never ever look at other people's art, and I never listen to other people's music when I'm making my work, and I can't expand into other people's work, because what if I end up making work that's like copying them? And to me, I was just like, you need to steal from the best and make it your own. You need to experience other people's art, because then how are you going to know a good example of great work? So when I look for inspiration, I'm looking to other great artists who are in the place where I want to be. For me, my work is centered around Black women, and just, the femme Black energy in general. No matter who you are. So even if you identify as something other than, feminine or femme, I want to embody that part of me where I feel like I'm a mother to myself, because I've struggled with my relationship with my mom especially, and I want to create a home for me inside my work and for other people who maybe have felt like they've been left behind by their sisters or their mothers or their, aunts and not only that, but I want to create work that symbolizes Black empowerment. And I think that starts with ending misogynoir and patriarchy in the context of Black women. So I try to make work that's centered around that core where I feel like if we abolish it, we are going to completely expand and glow as a human race. I want people to look at my work and feel good even if they are in a bad mood, even if they want to feel bad, because I want people to feel like my work holds some sort of message that can undo all of the negative advertisements and stereotypes and profiling that they're seeing on an everyday basis. Watching other artists, also expanding into new mediums. So with my tarot collection right now, I'm working on a deck of 78, and I'm calling it the Black Rider-Waite deck, or the Black Taurus Rider-Waite deck. And I wanted to create a Rider-Waite deck that is centered around people of color and women of color and femme people of color, that kind of transcends, gender and race, and we're actually experiencing unity and undoing some of the profiling. But I have never done digital work. I've done digital work, but it's usually when I had a bunch of tools and a bunch of time, and now I'm actually experimenting with Photoshop by taking my hand-drawn works and then putting them into a digital format, which is something I've never done before. And I'm learning so much more about art in general by having that experience where I'm okay, now I can take my paintings and I can make them even more detailed and curtail that even more by learning from other artists, whether it's on the internet or just watching, or just, experiencing, and then I can make something that nobody's ever seen before. Okay, so I'll tell you what I did today. So at 7 a.m. I went to Schoolcraft Middle School, and I'm actually an education for the arts teacher for Kalamazoo County. And that means I'm an artist who does their work, but I also go into schools K through 12, and I teach aesthetics training. And we have conversations around art, we do art making, and then we go see live performances and shows at actual museums like the KIA, or we go to the Comstock Auditorium, or we go to the Miller Auditorium and we watch an actual play and we experience like a real dance performance. And sometimes it's these kids' first experience with art, and it's life-changing. So today I spent the day teaching 7 different classes. I taught first grade, kindergarten, 4th grade, and 8th grade today. And then I came back, I put on my clothes. My dad, I took a shower because I like to take a big cryo shower after teaching in the public schools, like, because, you know, the kids are so sweet. They like still want to hug and get close. I'm like, 6 feet, please. But then I got home, and my dad came to visit me and see this piece, and we set up a booth over at the Hilton Garden Inn where we're selling tarot prints and stuff. And then I got here, and now I'm doing this interview with you. I'm gonna say something really ambitious and like that may be considered a little narcissistic, but I'm going to redefine the way that people see art and artists. I want people to see artists as somebody like me who's not only, you know, providing for their community, investing in the youth, creating works that represent themselves, their community, and doing it unapologetically, while also doing works that aren't necessarily supported in a mass media scheme, undoing capitalism and mass advertising and the media, like I get media depression, and the media depression that I know other people have. So what I want to do is I want to be an artist where people, if they think Maya James, they think, oh wow, I want to be like her. Because like growing up, my dad's an artist, Rufus Snoddy, he's back there, and he's an amazing creator. And my upbringing was watching him make art, going into museums and galleries and experiencing the work, and also watching him create things. And to me, that was life-changing because I didn't know being an artist looked like the way he does things. And it's because everybody's telling you there's no money in the arts. There's no career path there for you. That nobody wants to be an artist because you'll just starve and have trouble. I want to be that example where it's like, actually, there is a person who can come from not very much and actually become an artist that can support themselves and support their community at the same time. I thought about this all night last night, and I was like, I'm going to tell them. Quit your day job. If you have, use your day job A to buy all the materials you need to make your craft and your passion your business, and then quit that job as soon as possible. The more time you're investing in the capitalist labor scheme where you're working a 9 to 5 and you're forced to do this, this, and this, you are wasting your energy that you'll have at home later on to create your work. You'll notice that your work will get better the more desperate you are to make a career out of your path. And that, I feel like, has to be the fire under you to push you forward. You need to kind of feel desperate for a little bit to make your craft work. Never take a bum deal. If somebody wants to devalue you and devalue who you are, devalue how much you're worth, devalue how much your artwork is worth, then say no to that no matter how much money they're offering you and no matter how much they're promising for your future. Because you know you, and you know your work. So quit your day job and focus on that, even if it's desperate. Guess Lukumi is a project we've been working on for the past 3 years that is finally out. I got the first proof of it this past week. It's going to be at BookBug. I just mentioned it. I maybe shouldn't have, but you put it in there anyway. But it's going to be at BookBug, and this is a bookstore. It is about 2 best friends, one who's dark-skinned black woman, one who's a light-skinned black woman, and they're best friends. They're both activists. They're at an event that they organize together, and they get in a really horrible argument. about colorism. And that's the last time they see each other. One of the friends dies. And it's about how the three female Orisha help them forgive each other when they can't have that actual conversation. And so this piece is really important to me because I want to see us grow as Black women supporting each other, because the number one way that I think patriarchy and misogynoir works is by turning us against each other and making us feel as though there's some sort of competition and there's not enough of the pie for all of us when there is, and we can help each other grow by learning from each other and educating each other. So it's a really important piece, and it's amazing. It's amazing that it's out here. It's really colorful. I totally suggest you buy a copy. You can go to mammalpress.org, and you can go to the books and you'll find it. It's out for pre-order. Mammal Press is an amazing publication company. They're a publishing company. Anyway, they're all Arab American run and owned. It was founded by Aya and Layla, and Aya Abdul Razak, and Aya Krisht and Layla Abdul Razak. Sorry, I'm hungry. But they're incredible women that went for this huge grant with the Knight Foundation, and it actually worked out. And so they were able to create their first graphic novel and publish it. And they wanted to open it up to communities of color to tell their authentic stories. And I applied and I sent them a proposal. I've never written a comic book before. I didn't even read that many comic books at the time. And then they told me, well, we're gonna give you another month, because nobody else turned their thing in on time. So nobody else turned their proposal in on time. You have another month. Let me know if you want to just revise it, and we'll look at the revised version. So obviously I'm adding all this stuff to it, and I got the book. And so it's been a really lengthy process, especially because Layla is Palestinian, and because of everything that's happening in Palestine, and also just COVID and trauma and all of these things that were happening at once, and trying to survive as people of color. And now we have a book. So it was blood, sweat, and tears. And so I really want people to read it and check it out, and let me know what you feel about it, even if you hate it. So yeah.